Scooby-Doo meets Scream slash Ghostface, whatever you want to call it. To me, I'm probably going to call him Scream a lot because I'll get a tongue twist when it comes to Ghostface. Now, in this video, we're going to kind of talk about what I think the perfect type of interaction between Scooby-Doo and Ghostface or Scream could be. Now, I'm going to say it right now, like the video, comment down below if you like this or if, you want me to introduce some other horror icons like Chucky or, Jason or Freddy, any of those. And then also subscribe to the channel down below. We're hoping to make the channel even bigger. More community is always a better thing. So let's begin. Now, I'm going to start with which gang of Scooby-Doo that I think could handle this. First off, definitely not a pup named Scooby-Doo. Second off, not choosing What's New Scooby-Doo, and I'm not choosing like Scooby-Doo Be Cool or Scooby-Doo Where Are You? Not choosing any of them iterations of the gang. The group I'm choosing is Mystery Inc. The reason why is because if you've seen their series, if not, you really should. It's really, really amazing. They deal with a ton of really, horror kind of cool, dark stuff. It's a really, really great series. It's, one of the top favorite of everybody of all time. Now, in this iteration, the gang is split on the docks investigating a fake monster. Of course, that's always fake. Now, like I said, they're poking around the dock separately. Fred is checking structure and trap points. Velma's reviewing evidence. Daphne is scouting. Scooby and Shaggy are just, casually doing Scooby and Shaggy things, getting food, cowering, I don't know, just their normal stuff. Here's where it kind of starts to get weird. Each member gets a call from Sheriff Bronson Stone, but something is off. Wrong phrasing, delayed responses, mimic concern, but he knows exactly where each of them are. Now they all hang up kind of uneasy about, why is the sheriff calling me? The important detail is that the calls don't threaten at first, they redirect the gang. Velma checks metadata or tracking and finds out the sheriff's real phone is active, but it's not moving and it's located at the docks where they're at. So something is here. Now this is the moment when, their dread settles in, they regroup and move together to go, see, hey, what's up with the sheriff? Why was he acting so suspicious? And then we kind of get like a cut back where we see fog, the water hitting the rocks on the dock wall. We hear chains, and then we also hear a buoy with a bell rattling in the distance. Now, they do find Sheriff Stone alive, but he's severely injured. Looks like a bunch of stab wounds. And the phone is dropped nearby with signs of struggle. There's no killer, there's no monster, there's no mask. And now, this is where Mr. Inc. breaks because it messes with him. And this is where this is what Ghostface does to break the Scooby-Doo whole system routine. Ghostface starts hunting the gang a little bit, but he never walks where Fred expects. Fred has all these traps set up for the fake monster they thought they were supposed to be catching. Now they're facing a real monster, and he's smarter. He knows where the traps are. He's making the gang second guess timing. Not only is he aware of where the traps are, he starts triggering them a little bit early. Fred stands at the end of one of the docks, kind of smiling. And then Ghostface looks over and sees where a potential trap would be, and he throws a rock or something and it triggers the trap. And then Fred's just like, oh, okay. And he runs away. But it eventually gets the gang kind of realizing, hey, this is not working. Our normal stuff is not working. Velma is the first person to realize it. He's not avoiding the traps. He's deciding when he uses them, or when we use them. He doesn't overpower Mr. Inc. That's the thing. He can't. It's a 1v5. I don't think he can take them all at the same time. He can probably take one, but he can't take all five. He's desynchronizing him. He's shifting their reality and their whole routine they do. So Fred hesitates on trap timing. Velma's rechecking her data that she never doubts. Daphne starts scouting alone again to regain control. She's like, I have this, I can do this, I can handle this situation. And then Scooby and Shaggy stop trusting empty spaces. They start, cowering more towards the walls and kind of panicky a little bit. They aren't scared of Ghostface anymore. They're scared of being wrong because they realize if they're wrong, It might end up in them being dead. And that's how he wins early, but this Ghostface does not win in the end. Now, I have this whole kind of ending chase scene, so I want you guys, if you guys are ready to listen to it, let's begin with it. So, he chases the gang through the night on the docks, wielding his knife, with the gang deciding to lead him to a fish packing plant. Now, I must iterate here. There is no trap Fred has planned or even set up here. Velma is a bit panicky due to this villain actually wielding a knife trying to unalive them. Daphne is having her freakout moment as well, thinking about the sheriff, and Shaggy and Scooby are just silent, heads down, expecting the worst. Ghostface manages to break into the fish packing plant and start chasing the gang again. But since the gang is used to running away from monsters, they are more parkour / nimble in this heavily obstacle workroom. Ghostface, however, is not. He keeps tripping and falling due to the ropes and barrels in the way. He rips the bottom of the cloak in half, when it is caught on a hook. He manages to chase the gang all throughout the plant. The gang manage to get to a back wall and try to open the door, only to find it locked. Ghostface, tired of the chase at this point, plus his clothes stinking like rotten fish, turns on a button. He thinks it's the lights, but it isn't. He hears the machines turn on and starts laughing as he's walking down the more lit hallway. He gets too much closer to the gang while in his head thinking of who to strike first. But when the gang huddle up next to each other, and right when he throws his knife up in the air and catches it to strike down, kind of like the Psycho scene in that old movie, if you've ever seen it, it's pretty good, he can't. As his arm is getting pulled back, he is at a loss. Why can't he strike? Then he feels the pulling presence as his cloak is getting pulled away from him. The gang look up, and then he slips and falls on the blood of dead fish all near him. His knife slips out of his hands and slides right to the gang, but it's too late for them to stop the machine or him getting pulled in, as there's a sudden mechanical jolt, the lights flicker, and then the sound stops. The gang later on call for help when they get back to the sheriff, who's barely clinging to life. At this point, the gang believe whatever this was, it's finished. But that's when Fred's phone starts ringing on the back of the ambulance. I get that it's kind of like, this is going to be probably a shorter video after I get done editing, but I think this is a pretty good way to kind of deal with the whole Ghostface, is that this Ghostface is done, but there's always more. So, like I said earlier, if you guys like this, like it down below, comment down below what you guys thought of it, and subscribe to the channel as well. It always helps out to make the community just a little bit bigger. So, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.